Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything?
Oh, good. We're recording on Labor Day today.
Yeah, we had some problems with Anchor, allowing us to do basically be able to speak to each other. And so I sent in an email and then suddenly fixed.
Oh.
So that was, sweet.
Oh, they just forgot to update something, like turn that part off.
They said they were aware. That was that was already up. We are aware of the situation.
Well, you reminded them, and somebody fixed it. So
thank goodness.
You helped out every Anchor user. So great job.
That's right. Get what you pay for was what I was thinking. Jeez, I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you for taking the time today. I guess let's get right into it. What are you looking at this week in solar?
Oh man, it's crazier than ever, which is great because everyone is just like last week. They really are getting a little frantic about getting their systems installed before the end of the year. And as we talked, we are absolutely running into delays from the permit offices that they're letting us know that don't expect a quick turnaround on these permits. So.
Oh no!
Yeah, we are now in the mode. September 1st was our last day. If we did not have a signed contract, we are not guaranteeing that we are going to be able to take them solar by the end of the year.
And even then, is it you're able to guarantee, or you're like guarantee fingers crossed?
Well, we'll definitely get it installed.
Okay. I
think we'll be running up against is PG&E not being able to turn on the system in time for the end of the year. And really what I'm trying to avoid is people calling me on Christmas Day screaming that their system has not been approved. And they would like me to pay for that lost tax credit. So that part I am not so excited about. But
Merry Christmas.
Well, yes. And, some of these systems are pretty big. So getting it installed by the end of the year, it could be the difference of, even $500 to, $5,000 is what that loss is. And so my intention is to let them know that we will do everything we can to get it installed before the end of the year. But we're kind of at the mercy of the PG&E process and permit process. So
that's what I thought. I mean, you can say we can take care of our job, but that doesn't mean.
Sometimes people hear that and sometimes people don't. So it's just part of the process. And we, this being our 11th year, we've been through these kind of things before. So we know really what to expect. That end of the year, generally means candy canes, Christmas trees, and ho, ho, ho. But in the solar business, it means hurry up. And
oh yeah, now I can see that. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, you just let your current clients know that when they're signing, or that they've already signed, that this is, stuff out of your control.
Yeah.
So they're aware.
We do and now we will be letting them know every step of the way as well that we're doing the best we can to get it installed in time. And we're not unique into this. We do have plenty of other companies that we're talking to that are in the solar business, and we're all up against the same thing, is that we're all super busy, and everyone, which is great. It means a lot of people are getting their solar installed. It's sad is that everyone seems to have waited till the last minute.
It could be worse, right? Just say, why am I going solar? I don't
Well,
like
yeah.
solar panels in the way they look. Like I've heard that one.
Oh yeah, we get that a lot, and we get creative on how everything's going. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's just part of the process, and we're doing our best. And there's no bad time to go solar, even if it gets turned on afterwards. It just means that it will have paid for itself in probably 3 to 6 months after it would have before. But I definitely understand wanting to get, maximize the tax credit. No doubt about
Sure.
that. Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So
today,
what's that? Go ahead.
so what we also run into quite a bit are people, which is fantastic. They investigate their solar before they go solar, and they try and
Hmm.
do as much online research as they can,
Yep.
which is
Good.
great. And what sometimes happens is, uh, you know, they think that the online research they're doing is unbiased, and
Oh no.
I know. And sometimes what we're finding out is some of the online review sites, they actually will charge a solar installer for the reviews and kind
Mhm.
of the 5-star rating or whatever, um, because that's how they stay in business. So the online review sites are not, in what we have found, they're not independent, they're not unbiased. They have their own agenda, which is to make money. And the way they make money is say, hey, Solar Harmonics, do you want to be the #1 rated company in your area? And we say, sure. And they say, great. Okay, that'll be, 700, 800, $1,000 a month, sometimes 15,000 a month in order to be the top rated solar installer in, say, Contra Costa County.
Mhm.
And so that makes things difficult because people, they want to go with a company that they can trust, and a lot of times the online reviews for that company uh, may not be real. And so that's why we recommend, not don't just look at one source
Right.
for the recommendation. Check out other sources, and as much as Yelp or Google or Facebook or Nextdoor.com can be manipulated that way, we really feel it's really difficult to do, to get all of those sites to say the same thing. And so um, you're in that business. What have you found in that business?
I know in helping your business. So when we look for solar stuff online, 90 99% are lead generating businesses. And so what I mean by lead generator is you type in, which is better, leasing or owning my panels, and you think that you're going to go, you see the first sites up there are, it looks like a magazine or something like that. But coincidentally, this magazine only focuses on solar.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you realize, or you should realize, is anytime that they have a find a dealer little button at the top, or search in your area, or get your free solar quote, those are all, it's a lead generator. So basically, when you fill out that form, then they take that information and then they go to Solar Harmonics and they call them up and say, hey, do you want to buy this lead for $100 or $60? Or, all our leads are qualified and, they're in your area. They want your business. So those sites produce whatever content they can to get you to fill out that form. They don't really care if it's accurate. They don't care if they're leading people astray. All they care about is people putting in their email and phone number. And then they don't just offer it to one solar company, they'll offer it to 20 or 30 at a minimum. And so because that's how they make money. These are probably usually one or two people businesses that their phone goes to basically a call forwarding service or an answering service, which they pay for, and then all they're trying to do is sell leads. So they don't care what they put up there. They don't care if they're helping people or hurting people. They are completely, I don't know if the agnostic is the term, but they are, uh, and they dominate Google results, completely dominate. And I know in my business, this is the scourge of Google because I can create one of these sites. It'll rank on page one at the top of the page. I can do that probably in 10 minutes for almost every small city in America. And if Google finds out about it, they just deprecate, they put that way later. But for that month or two, I'm selling those leads. I could be selling those leads. I don't do that, and we don't do that, but just because I don't believe in basically taking advantage of our customers. And it's just, I don't know. It's not something ethically that I agree with.
Well, we get called, emailed, contacted by probably 7 to 10 lead generation services every month. Mm-hmm. We don't use those services because we're plenty full. But if they're also charging for that lead and they're charging for that solar company to be at the top rankings, mm-hmm. It is not out of the realm of possibility that they are charging a particular solar manufacturer mm-hmm. for rankings as well. And yep. So this is where we kind of get back to, are the online sources independent? In some of them that I've looked at, some of the solar, they absolutely say up and down, they do not do any of that. But it is coincidental, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. What I want our listeners to know is that these sites exist for a reason, and they do not exist for the benevolence of spreading solar information. What they exist mm-hmm. for is either generating leads or really just making money for themselves.
Well, yeah, they're completely, their business model is very different than Wikipedia's business model.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's, it's a hard part of, doing any kind of research. Is the online source, are the online sources, are they reliable, and can they be trusted? And they're certainly presented as if they are a great authority on solar or really on any business. And so it's really, in your business, Adam, what would you recommend for an unsuspecting solar person to do to find unbiased information about the solar panels or the solar equipment or even the solar company they're considering?
So what we recommend when we take on a solar client is, first we recommend diversify their or pretty much any client, diversify their online review strategy, meaning we want them on multiple sites, having all 5-star reviews, so not just focusing on Yelp, or not just focusing on Google, or not just focusing on Nextdoor, for example. Then the next thing we do, if they're in the home services industry, is we ask them, have you ever considered Diamond Certified? And most of them have heard of Diamond Certified, and they've heard that it's incredibly expensive. They've heard that it's a very rigorous process to get Diamond Certified. And that's what we say. Well, when you get Diamond Certified, you're also educating the public about what that means to be Diamond Certified. And if you have a Diamond Certified dentist, for example, that means that company has called, I think it's over 100 of their patients or their clients, past clients, and then asked them a series of questions. And then they have to get, I guess, a 90% approval. Solar Harmonics has been through this process. So
correct.
You have to get 90% or above to be Diamond Certified?
That's correct. 90% or above.
And they have to have, they ask for your customer list, and they're not like, hey, give us only the good ones. They just say, give us everything, right?
Correct. Yeah, we have to provide a full customer list for the last 5 years. And
Woo.
Then they randomly pick who they're going to call. So, we do our best, of course, with every client. Mm-hmm. And we scored a 9.9 out of 10. So with Diamond Certified, essentially they ask them, would the customer use this again? Would they recommend us? And is anything we could have done to improve? And 99 out of 100 people said, nope, we're 10 out of 10. We did get a couple people who said that they were not happy with PG&E, so they didn't quite.
Who are you again?
Yeah, funny. Exactly. So anyway, but I think that's statistically impossible to have that many people say one thing in the right direction. So we are very proud of our Diamond Certified ranking. Unfortunately, Diamond Certified is only in the Bay Area.
Oh,
so,
no. Wow.
So yeah, if there was something like that in other areas, it could be very beneficial to the clients.
I'm sure they are attempting to grow. If you're outside of the Bay Area, then I would recommend doing your research, making on multiple platforms. Check the age of the review, meaning that look for ones that have said, I've had our system for whatever years or for a couple years. So that way it's not, I'm writing this review with a salesman in my house right now kind of a review, because that's what that's what not just solar companies do. A lot of companies, they're like, hey, as part, you don't know what they have told that customer, which is, we'll give you, they could say verbally, we'll give you $1,000 right now if you review it right in front of us. And
I've seen some of those too, where the customers are paid to I am being paid for this review. Then they actually write that in there.
It can be tough to suss those out, and that can be frustrating for if you're going to make a decision. And yeah, I feel for them, because I see these people on Nextdoor, which I still sometimes read, and they've just been the people, they've just been tricked. They think that basically leasing a system for the next forever is cheaper than owning the system, which has an endpoint in your payoff. That for me, I don't understand, and I don't know how to respond to those people. It's kind of weird, because they're like, but I'm only paying $11 or whatever, and you're just like, but you're paying that for the next 25 years, and then it's time to renegotiate. It's not like you just bought the system.
Well, I know, especially if you actually, unfortunately, if you go to Costco right now, and there's a company in there that is going, it's like a carnival barker, and they're talking about solar, and guess what they're pushing you towards right from the very first conversation? It's solar leasing, and it's
I was going to say.
But anyway, so I think we beat this topic into a dead horse, and so
well, I think, Jamie, I just want to say that this podcast, if you're listening to this is also a sign of a good company. A good company does things like this, which means they put out content like this that allows a customer, like if you're thinking about going solar and you take a listen. I mean, you can hear Jamie's passion. You can hear his expertise in this subject. It's evident. All you have to do is look and listen, and then you can search for the other solar companies. And none of them do this. None of them have a podcast. None of them want to open themselves up to criticism like this. None of them care enough, and that should be also a deciding factor.
Well, I agree with you, but that's why we're doing this podcast, to let people know. We're taking time out of our holiday to record this, and it is because we want people to make better informed decisions. And almost every day I have people say, to me, this solar panel is the best, and I say, kind of based on what? And they say, well, the reviews that are out there say that this panel is the best, and they're kind of heartbroken when I let them know that it is possible that their research may be biased, and it's it's an important process for sure, because this equipment is going to be on the roof for the next 30 to 40 years. So
you hope,
yeah, investing all that money. So we want it to work.
Definitely. Okay, I guess we're going to wrap it up there. Do you have any final thoughts? We're good.
No, I think it's a great advice is to, when you are reading the reviews, look at the age of the reviews in terms of, I have had my system for 3 years now, and I couldn't be happier, because I can't think of one thing I would in my life that I would write a review for 3 years later. And so it's we're always really complimented when that happens.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely. Great. Okay. We're going to wrap things up there. If you have any questions for us, please definitely go to our Facebook page. You can send us a message through there. You can always email us. You can hear the ending bumper and it'll tell you where to email us. Drop us a review in iTunes and we'll see you next time.
All right. Have a great week.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.